Well, Governor, we also have fewer horses and bayonets because the nature of our military has changed. We have these things called aircraft carriers where planes land on them. We have these ships that go underwater, nuclear submarines.
Attacking me is not an agenda. Attacking me is not talking about how we're going to deal with the challenges that exist in the Middle East and take advantage of the opportunity there and stem the tide of this violence.
Well, it was the third and final presidential debate, and once again, as you just heard, the verbal jabs were thrown. Was there a clear winner last night, and did one candidate appear to change his debate strategy? Political analyst John Dadian is here to break it all down for us. John, thank you so much for waking up early and coming in this morning. Was there a clear winner last night?
I don't think so. Most analysts are saying that Obama won, but I say that slightly. Because Romney's whole strategy was he has a momentum still continuing from the first debate, even though this is the third debate. So what he wanted to do is look presidential. And part of that strategy was not to be too combative. And I think he accomplished their strategy.
Now, right off the top, the moderator, Bob Schieffer, went right into the Libya question. Me, as a viewer watching from my couch, I was kind of amazed that Romney did not take that opportunity to go on the attack. Why do you think that he almost acted as if he didn't hear the question?
I think it was a missed opportunity. Sports analogy I heard somebody use today is that it wasn't even a hard ball, it was a softball, and he whiffed on it. So it really was, it surprised me also, and that was my reaction.
Yeah, and then when the issue would repeatedly come back up, it almost seemed like the topic of Syria was much more heated than the topic of Libya. Did you agree?
Again, these people were so prepped for this, sometimes too much so, and so he had ingrained in his brain, don't be too combative, etc., and he didn't want to be that hard-charging. I think you needed to be hard-charging in certain points, and then overall, so.
Okay, so what did you think about the number of times that Romney agreed with Obama's previous foreign policy strategies?
Not surprising, because, again, the Romney strategy is agree with him on foreign policy and keep bringing it back to the economy. And then, of course, education even snuck in there a couple times. So that was his strategy. He knows that he's not going to win points on foreign policy as far as the so-called winning or losing. If anything, we do agree on quite a few of the majority of the strategic policies that have happened in the last 4 years.
What were some of the highlights for each candidate last night?
Well, I think there were certainly a few gaffes, very few. I was surprised, but the one where Romney said that Syria was Iran's, link to the sea, that's geographically not correct. So I think that's people just going to snicker about that. That's not a big one. I think it was interesting. I think I've heard from some men and women on the street that I talked with last night, immediately after the debate, that Obama came across as a little too snippy when he was saying things like, we don't have horses and bayonets and we've got aircraft carrier. One of the best tweets I saw in response to that, again, the tweeting was happening within seconds after a comment. I think from that debate, people are going to remember the horses and bayonet, but one Marine tweeted saying, it's the president who better learn about the military. Marines still use bayonets.
Well, that's a good point. And in regards to the horses and bayonet comment, if you are an Obama supporter, people were celebrating and appreciating that comment. If you're a Romney supporter, they thought it was rude and condescending.
Yeah, and absolutely. And again, to say that we have aircraft carriers and we've got things called submarines, I think it came across as a little too snarky.
Okay, let's also talk about what does this third and final debate mean for the election. It's 2 weeks away, but it also happened on the same night as Monday Night Football and as Game 7 going into the World Series.
Do I have to admit that I channel surfed a little bit last night?
Guilty.
Being from San Francisco, I had a lot riding on last night, both the baseball game and the debates. Again, what happened was Romney's goal was to keep the momentum going, and Obama's goal was to stump that momentum. Obama knew he wasn't going to get momentum back. He wanted to just basically stop it, and I think he did to a certain degree. But again, Romney just kind of plateaued out, which is good and what they wanted to. 2 weeks left. For example, I noticed that the vice president, Republican nominee, has canceled his San Diego trip tomorrow, which was supposed to be a fundraising one because he's going to be in the swing states. So I think they're making a strategic decision that at this point, even if they go into debt, which all campaigns do, it's more important to get the votes in the last 2 weeks than the money.
And it's going to come down to the swing states, as it usually always does. John Dadian, thank you so much. We always appreciate your expertise on this topic. We're going to take a short break and we'll be right back.